ears process information slow. Those with the low eyebrow, so if you don't mind me saying, you are like that, fast, take fast, respond fast. Right? Don't waste my time, no fluff. Right? That's it. Okay, so that's how you read people. When I meet someone like him, less fluff, more content. Okay, or he might get bored. So, okay, so you want a more compliant person in your organization, hire one with the ears sticking in, not sticking flat against the face. If you want someone that's going to think out of the box, creative, Mazatov, Shuspa, these types sticking out, those are going to be in the business development, the creative side, the creative juices. Get this one, okay? They will not comply. So when I meet this type of people, I say, you wouldn't drive against the flow of traffic, right? No, you're crazy. Have you driven against the flow of traffic? He said, yeah, of course, all the time in the car park, they go against the flow of traffic.
I found it fascinating. The science and what he was able to relay about people from their faces was just fascinating.
I thought it was really actually very interesting. I mean, he's got a really dynamic personality, extremely confident, very positive, and of course it's really funny as well.
I like to find a person who can actually easy to communicate with and not get stuck with a boring conversation or a person that doesn't really communicate much. So having that skill to be able to identify the person that you can actually open up and speak to, I think that's a great skill to be able to have.
And he mentioned this thing about ears. Yeah, so high ears, low ears. So if high ears, and he singled me out to say, it looks like I have high ears, says you respond quite quickly. So therefore, if you're dealing with somebody with that high ears, then you probably want to be quicker and faster. Somebody low ears might take a little bit longer.
I think for me, because it was really intriguing, I'd like to go and find a little bit more about it, maybe join one of his workshops to be able to use that information and see how we can use it in a practical, everyday, interaction with people.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our time check. Good evening sa lahat.
Good evening po, Doc Hector.
Wow, talagang ang aga nyo.
Good evening, everyone.
Ako, I just had 3 friends who got COVID last week. Kumusta kayo dyan? Okay, anyway.
Hi. Ginawag yun para mabuhi.
Hindi na, ewan ko lang ha. Kasi kung pag depressed ka kasi, lalo na pag nalaman mo positive ka, plus yung iisipin mo yung mga gastos, I think madali kang maano. What is your comment here, Miss Unstoppable?
Of course, mas lalo kang maghihina pagka nadidepress ka. Kaya pagka, or nininervyos ka, pagka yun, the first reaction talaga, of course, pagka, siguro, no, pagka sinabi sa'yo na positive ka nga, wala naman siguro tao na hindi matatakot. Pero, kaagad-agad dapat isipin na lang natin na mas marami naman ang naka-recover sa hindi nakaka-recover. So what do they think? Yun na yung iisipin natin. Paano sila nag-survive? Malaking bagay yun kasi importante yung positive.
Positive di ba? Parang reinforcement. Parang nagagawin ka. Sa totoo lang, no, I have one friend, siya, parang bumibili siya ng Quantumin para lang sa kanyang sa kanyang tita, no? 3+1, alala ko pa. And then, namatay na siya. And then, pangalawa, yung video niya lumabas sa YouTube. Siguro, nakalimutan na niya uminom. Okay, so parang, ewan ko lang kung kilala ni Madam, pero mukhang hindi yata. She's already 74. Oo, so very unfortunate na namatay siya. So, yun. And then yung pangatlo naman, nagka-COVID dahil very confident na fully vaccinated na. Uminom na rin siya ng, yung sa Chinese, lingua. Lingua, oo. Kasi yung kapatid niya, yung family niya, umiinom na talaga. Sabi ko, hindi naman dapat iniinom yan pag wala pang COVID.
Hindi naman siya prophylactic eh.
Hindi siya prophylactic. So, well, siguro hindi pa nila narinig. Ang hirap kasi, no, yung iba kasi masyadong close-minded. No? So once yun ang nila, wala nang ibang makaka. Hindi ka na pwedeng
Yung iba
pumasok.
din to, tingin ko, narinig nila ito. They just take it, hindi pa dumaan sa doktor, hindi pa nire-research. Basta nilang tinik. Nakita ko kasi one time, may nagbibenta sa ilitan. Tapos sabi niya, iinom daw ng lingua na isa ko dalang magkakita yun. Every after eating. Sabi ko, hala, ano to? Parang,
Hindi ka pwede uminom ng lingua kung wala kang dampness. Kung puro ka heat, yun. Anyway, so may their souls rest in peace. And depende na lang yan kung ano yung natin. Kumusta na kaya si Ma'am May? Okay, kumusta na yung pasyente mo, Ma'am May? Of Iligan? Yung pinsan mo ba yon?
sa Surigao,
Yung sa Manila.
Oo,
Sa
yung COVID.
sa Laguna.
Mga po siya, nagpa-vaccine na po siya ngayon. Yun na week, yun.
Naka-recover na pala siya.
Oo, recover na siya ate.
Very good. So, ang ko lang kino-compare ko kasi may mga cases. Ewan ko lang kung totoo. Pagkatapos daw nagpa-vaccine na tigo. Sabi ko parang hindi naman yata fair. So, ewan ko lang. We really don't know. Kaya this is making people more panicky, more anxious. Pero whether you believe in the vaccines or not, kasi I still believe na kahit fully vaccinated ka, you can still get infected with complications if you are not healthy to start with. So kung meron ka mga comorbidity, mas maganda talaga you're taking something that helps eliminate the toxins, especially yung mga heat toxins. Okay? So yon. Now, actually, I'm so fascinated with, aside from the tongue, yung sa face naman. So I would like to start the evening, habang wala pa tayong mga bagong dila, by studying the face. Continual, tuloy-tuloy ito, no? Kung napansin nyo, tingi-tingi, di ba, Ma'am Teresita, no?
Yes po, Doc. Tingi para hindi makalimutan.
I think this is much better than showing you iba-ibang mukha. Kasi kung sa isang mukha kasi, sa isang tao kasi hindi mo naman iba-ibang tao yun lang ang titingnan mo eh. So ngayon, dahan-dahan natin ito tinitingnan. So it's a picture ni Sitting Bull. He is a legend, legendary warrior sa India, sa mga American Indians, no? So sabi niya, okay, so dito nakikita natin, hindi lang siya isang leader, kundi isa rin siyang concerned provider who put the needs of others first, no? And this is manifested by pag malaki po yung ilong. Tingnan nyo, napakalapad ng ilong niya. Kaya yung hanap kayo ng mga friend na malapad ang ilong, kasi ito yung talagang makikita natin na magaling na leader at saka I will make sure na magaling siya na provider. See? So, yung broad nose niya shows that he immediately extended a broad umbrella of support over those he bonded with. Okay? And generous din niya malalaki ang ilong. Okay? So yung yes. Tingnan nyo din kung may horizontal kayo sa bridge ng nose. Okay, pag may horizontal bridge sa nose daw, you have a huge responsibility. Responsable ka na tao. Okay? Saka yung vertical lines between the eyebrows, perfectionist yan. Hindi lang siya hard on himself, pero he demands perfection. Okay? So yun. Ingat tayo sa mga ganyan tao. And being a chief was no easy job. So yung stress na sa sobrang external focus, nakikita kung merong puffy eyelids sa lower part, no? Upper eyelids dito. Upper part pala, upper eyelids. Kung nakikita nyo, pag stress tayo, yung upper lids natin parang lumalap, swollen, okay? Puffy, okay? Then, yung vertical lines niya sa upper lip, kaya niyang mag-survive ng circumstances that would have destroyed a weaker person. So, kung may nakita kayo mga vertical lines above the lip, sa upper lip, that goes to show na talagang matibay ka. So, ibig sabihin marami kang pinagdaanan and you were able to weather it all. Okay? So much for the face. We will now proceed to our tongue. So last week, ang pinag-usapan natin mostly on the spleen. This time, we will go to lung naman. And as usual, we will start with lung deficiency, lung yin deficiency. Okay? So alam nyo naman kung nasaan po yung lung natin. Okay, so pwedeng mag-develop ang lung yin deficiency during course of illness. So kung nagkasakit ka, let's say COVID, pwede kang magkaroon ng sign sa lung yin deficiency. And kung mahina yung constitution ng tao, or ibig sabihin masakitin siya, kidney yin deficiency yon. Okay? So kung talagang overall health ng mahina or overall constitution niya medyo mahina, he could be suffering from kidney yin deficiency. So yung pinaka-importanteng causative factor ng isolated lung yin deficiency, ibig sabihin hindi affected yung ibang organs katulad ng kidney, is smoking. And alam naman natin na bawal ang smoking. In the long run, it will generate heat sa lungs. Okay? And pag may heat sa lungs, nagkakaroon ng clumping sa fluid sa lungs. And ito yung tinatawag na smoker's cough. Nangyayari ito, ubo ka ng ubo sa morning, and meron kang phlegm na makapal, saka discolored. And kung ang tagal mo na naninigarilyo, magkakaroon ka ng dry cough or irritating cough. And this is caused by drying up of phlegm. Okay? So heat in the lungs will show itself in the anterior third of the tongue. So syempre, katulad dito, nakikita nyo, no? Yung anterior third niya is pula and may line. So definitely, meron po siyang lung heat, no? Or heat in the lungs. So pag matagal na to, patuloy pa rin siya naninigarilyo, more advanced stage, magkakaroon na siya ng maliliit na cracks. Okay? So even if walang crack, pag nakikita niyo red na siya, okay, that's a sign of lung heat. Okay? So ibig sabihin, dahan-dahan na nasisira yung yin ng lung. So definitely, kung puro heat na yan nandyan, magkakaroon siya ng maliliit na cracks na mga payat, katulad nito, small thin cracks. And in these cases, the color of the tongue will be very red. Okay? And also, kung matagal ka na, kahit hindi ka smoker, pero nagtatrabaho ka sa maalikabok na lugar, this can cause lung yin deficiency, katulad ng mga bakers, yung mga sa bakery, no? And also miners. So lung yin deficiency. And lung yin, pwede rin siyang ma-endure ng external dryness. Okay, or yung coming from extremely dry weather, okay, nakatira ka sa isang place na napakainit, or may central heating, katulad ng pagsiman ka na doon ka assign sa may engine room, and also pag parati ka na sa aircon. So magkakaroon ka ng injury sa lung yin. So yung dryness sa lung, of course, malalaman mo mayroon kang dryness sa lung kung mayroong dry cough and dry yung throat mo at saka yung lalamunan, yung mouth. Okay? So, pag nag-manifest na po ang lung yin deficiency, namamaos ka na, itchy yung throat mo, and then minsan meron kang blood tinge na sputum, and may feeling ka na mainit talaga yung katawan mo, or meron kang subfebrile temperature sa hapon. So very typical of yin deficiency. Okay? Since hindi namamaos ka, itchy yung throat mo, so you will have to be detailed, no, sa diagnosis, lung yin deficiency. And if you have dryness in the lung, which is a more severe form of lung yin deficiency, of course, you will have a dry tongue. And intense red discoloration ng tongue will only appear pag meron ka ng both lung and kidney yin deficiency. So sino-sino yung pwedeng mag-suffer from lung qi or lung yin deficiency? Yung mga teachers, singers, pati actors. Okay? Kasi pag ginagamit natin parati yung boses natin, this will weaken our zhong qi or yung tinatawag na gathering qi. And this energy, it controls the strength of the voice and ini-influence yung speech. Kasi ito yung nagsusupport sa qi ng heart and lungs, yung zhong qi. So ano ba ang early signs of gathering qi deficiency? So may makikita tayong depression. Do you see this? Kung nakikita nyo, parang lumalim po yung anterior third of the tongue, at saka since this is qi deficiency, maputla. Do you see that? So if there is depression on the anterior third of the tongue, then pale yung tongue body, then that is the early sign of gathering or early onset or the onset of gathering qi deficiency. And yung mga taong yung medyo may gathering qi deficiency, madali silang mag-catch colds or may problem with their voice. Okay? And deficiency ng gathering qi, magkakaroon ka rin ng symptoms that will indicate heart and lung qi deficiency. So, itong ganitong klaseng tongue, lumalabas din sa mga taong matagal ng sad at saka may grief. Kasi sadness, ang kalungkutan will disperse the lung qi. So, ibig sabihin, paaalisin niya yung lung qi. So, and since at the same time, humihina yung heart qi. So, hindi lang lung qi ang dinidissolve, kundi pati yung heart qi humihina. So, pag matagal ka nang may sadness and grief for many years, yung lung qi deficiency mo pwede maging lung yin deficiency. So magkakaroon na ng red yung anterior third mo, and later on, magkakaroon na ng crack. So a red tongue body na maraming maliliit na cracks, tapos may depression sa anterior third, it may indicate the onset of lung yin deficiency. So yung mga pasyente nagsasuffer from, di ba magkalapit lang man yun, di ba, Ma'am Teresita, di ba? So sa likod lang niya is stomach. So yung mga merong stomach yin deficiency, nagpapakita rin sila ng signs of lung yin deficiency. So
Yes,
pag ang fluid sa stomach are injured or naubos na, undernourished na din yung lung yin. Okay? And stomach yin deficiency na naging lung yin deficiency, meron tayong makikitang vertical crack along the midline of the tongue. I think all experts na po kayo niyan. Saka may mga small cracks tayo nakikita sa anterior third of the tongue. So pag parati kang may illness dahil sa wind heat, okay? Kailan natin masasabi na meron tayong invasion, wind heat invasion, external invasion of wind heat? External wind heat invasion. Meron tayong sore throat at saka pag inuubo tayo para tayong kumakahol. This can lead to lung yin deficiency. So persistent, long-lasting coughing, pwedeng masira yung lung qi. And so pag nasira yung lung qi, hihina din yung lung yin. So yung mga feverish illnesses, ibig sabihin pag yung heat nakapasok na sa qi level, tapos naglilinger siya sa lung and stomach. Diba? Pag meron kang stomach yin deficiency, affected din yung lung yin. The anterior third of the tongue will have red points. Okay? So pag may red points, expert na tayo dyan, merong toxic heat. So marami ng toxins or meron siyang heat sa lungs. So, of course, pag meron kang toxic heat sa lungs, there will be lung yin deficiency later on because heat will injure the fluids both in the stomach and the lung. Okay? Now let's go to the cases, your favorite. Meron tayong 31-year-old female. So pakibasa, Ma'am Betty.
Pale with a slight teeth mark. Tapos mayroong vertical crack in the anterior third. Red point at the tip. White greasy coating.
Okay, diagnosis, habang binabasa niyo yung symptoms. So pale with slight teeth marks. So yung slight teeth marks, ano ibig po sabihin yan? Go. Tapos i-correlate natin, sabihin niyo kung ano ang nag-support, nag-justify sa diagnosis niyo sa symptoms.
Pale with slight tooth mark. Dahil mayroon siyang mga slight, ano lang. Sabihin.
Pale yung tongue eh. So deficiency siya, di ba?
Deficient.
Pero anong klaseng deficiency? May slight teeth marks.
Splenchy deficiency po.
Okay, what about itong vertical crack sa
Anterior third. Bali, meron siyang lung yin deficiency.
Wow.
Meron siyang crack. Red points at the tip. Meron siyang heat sa heart heat.
Okay.
White greasy coating.
Oo. Kasi ganito po yan eh. Pag merong heat po sa lung, affected na. Kasi di ba lung and heart nasa anterior third, nasa upper burn. Ano naman masasabi niyo po sa white greasy coating?
White greasy. Damp cold. Hello.
Okay. Ano po ang nagko-confirm sa dry mouth at night?
Dry. Ano ba?
Dry skin. Dry skin, lungs yan, di ba?
Lung yin deficiency.
Ang constipation, pwedeng nagmula sa
Dahil sa dryness ng stomach.
what a bloated abdomen. What causes a bloated abdomen?
Bloated.
Sige, punta tayo sa
Context.
tuloy pa natin. Kayo mag-discuss po. Andyan na po yung diagnosis. Yung walang diagnosis, tingnan nyo hawa yung patient, 31-year-old female, walang Western diagnosis. Pero yung background sa disease niya, meron siyang long-lasting
pertussis.
Alam niyo pertussis? Whooping cough 1 year ago. Ibig sabihin, tuloy-tuloy po yung cough niya. Masyadong malakas, no? So ano ba yon? Okay, so overwork, smoking. Alam naman natin yung smoking nakaka-apekto. Ang number one na pattern sa lungs that will happen is
Lung yin.
lung yin deficiency. Okay, so itong spleen chi deficiency, bakit ganyan po yung diagnosis niya? Dahil
Pale. Pale
Yeah.
blood deficiency.
kanyang
Bismarck.
red abdomen yan,
Light.
teeth marks, blood deficiency kasi pale,
Tang and
at saka may dry ang mouth, no?
At night.
Dry skin, dry mouth, blood deficiency.
Injured fluid.
Okay. Bakit may heat sa upper burner? Ano po ang nagpo-confirm doon? So hindi natin masasabi na heat sa heart kasi toxic point sa heart niya kasi wala tayong
Nakikita.
ikita nagpo-point sa heart. So yung red point sa tip niya, okay, so parang generalized na. May heat sa buong upper burner. Kasi po meron din siyang problem sa lungs, di ba?
Opo.
Then food stagnation. Ito po yung pag may white greasy coating tayo, pagkatapos bloated yung abdomen natin, tapos constipated. That is
Bloated.
food stagnation. Diba? Food stagnation.
Food stagnation ba, Doc?
Yes, nandito na, food stagnation. Okay? White greasy coating. Hindi naman, wala namang dampness na nakikita. Diba? Greasy yung coating, white. Hindi naman siya thick. Hindi siya thick. White greasy coating. Okay, so, at saka meron kasi siyang constipation.
Cause ng dryness.
Kasi pag meron kang food retention, pag hindi na-digest yung pagkain mo, yung nandoon lang sa tiyan, nagiging stomach, nagkakaroon ng heat, no? So, syempre, pag stomach heat ka, affected din po yung large intestine, kaya may constipation. However, ang pinaka po dito talaga nang nakalagay, food stagnation. Wala tayong nakikitang problem with the stomach here, pero the mere fact na meron po siyang dry mouth at night, dry skin, so this refers to heat in the upper burner. No? Okay, I hope that's okay. Case history tungkol sa pasyente. Didiscuss natin ng detail. Si Mrs. S worked as a journalist. A year ago, she contracted pertussis. She did not react well to conventional treatment. Nagsuffer siya for weeks with coughing fits. She continued to smoke during the illness, however. Since then, since tuloy yung smoking niya, andun pa rin yung coughing niya, yung skin niya felt very dry. Kaya dito mo talaga makikita yung timing, no? So, dito mo talaga makikita na may kinalaman po yung skin sa yung sa skin, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin nangyari muna yung sa lungs, yung abuso na contraction ng pertussis.
Because the skin is the respiratory organ of the lung.
Yeah. So pag mainit yung lungs, nagkaroon din siya ng dry stools. Kasi po, yung lungs pati large intestine magkasama, di ba? Remember? So, parang dito na tayo mababayas kasi magka-element po ang lungs pati large intestine. So, mag-expect tayo na merong problema sa large intestine because of kasi yung lungs niya masyado nang mainit. So, ang mangyayari, iinit din yung large intestine. Nagkakaroon ng heat. Okay. So ito yung one example of constipation na kahit anong gawin mo, kahit hindi naman siya dahil sa kulang sa fiber, it's because of heat. Right? So you have to treat the lungs. Ay,
Nakabara.
oo, nakabara, nakakainis.
May langyin.
Okay, tingnan natin mabuti yung ano. Saan nakabara?
Wala na daw. Okay na po.
Okay, so she complained about severely bloated abdomen, which shows food stagnation. The tongue body was pale and showed a crack in the anterior portion. The pulse was noticeably choppy. So pag choppy kasi, it's either blood stasis or blood deficiency. In this case, we're more into blood deficiency. Mrs. S was very healthy until she contracted pertussis. Okay, kaya yung tongue shape niya normal. Normal po yung tongue shape niya, hindi po siya malaki. The pale tongue and choppy pulse. Okay, so ito po yung nag-indicate ng blood deficiency. So pag pale yung tongue and choppy yung pulse, that's definitely blood deficiency. Kasi kung blood stagnation, even if the pulse is choppy, hindi po pale yung tongue, di ba? Blood stagnation. So it's more on blood deficiency. Yung white greasy tongue coating points to, ito na po, food stagnation caused by hectic eating habits at work. Kung napansin nyo, overwork po yung nasa history niya. Ang food stagnation kasi, dinidisrupt niya yung stomach chi downward movement. Diba? Yung stomach chi pababa. Okay? So, nagkukos ito ng abdominal distension. Yung constipation niya, this is due to lack of blood to moisten the intestines plus the lack of descending stomach chi. The vertical crack in the anterior third of the tongue is associated with pertussis and persistent coughing fits. Okay, yung dalawang yan ang sumira sa langyin. Yung continued smoking ng patient gave rise to heat in the lungs, which was an additional contributing factor. Siyempre, pag meron ka ng langyin deficiency, and then naninigarilyo ka pa rin, kaya nagkaroon ng mga heat points. So yung langyin deficiency manifested as dryness. Okay. Kaya meron tayong dry mouth, dry skin, and dry stools. Punta naman tayo sa next. Ang haba na natin doon, 38 years old naman. This is another case. Female. Ma'am Teresita, do you want to comment?
Dry lang, Doc. Reddish cough, tongue sore face, dry mouth, thirst, night sweats, restless. May kuan siya, Doc, may lang may red edges. May lang yung deficiency siya, Doc. Reddish cough.
Kasi dahil may crack na, irregular crack sa anterior third. Very good. Let's see. And also may night sweats, no?
May night sweats.
Meron din siyang
breathing.
Tendency to catch colds.
Tapos, difficult time breathing.
Yeah, difficult. So, meron din siyang lung chi deficiency. Hindi lang langyin.
Lang chi din.
When you talk about chi, you're referring to the function.
Ay, okay. And then, yellow thick greasy coating. May damp heat din siya, Doc. Accumulation of damp heat.
Nasaan yung damp heat niya? Kasi yung greasy coating, yellow thick coating at the root.
Greasy coating, especially at the root.
So that's the lower burner.
Yes, po.
Okay, let's take a look. Western diagnosis niya, meron po siyang chronic tonsillitis, allergic rhinitis, bronchial asthma. So background is repressed emotions, especially grief and feelings of guilt due to having given birth to a handicapped child. Wow. Imagine mo feelings of guilt. Family history of respiratory diseases. So yung TCM diagnosis, tama po kayo, pero meron lang kayong na-miss na konti, no?
Yes po, sa liver. Kasi red ang sides. Na-miss ko ang liver.
Red
Pati ang
edge.
kidney.
Red yung edge. Nakalagay
Yes.
yung red edges. That should have been hit in the liver. Yung onset of kidney deficiency, bakit nyo nasabing kidney deficiency?
Because of the root coating. Deep, here. Nasaan ba ron? Wala, may suppressed emotions.
What about yin deficiency? Accumulation of damp heat in the lower burner. Tama kayo doon. Dahil po dito, all yellow thick greasy coating. Deep red spots at the tip, yan na po yung toxic heat.
Yes po.
Okay? Case history, balik tayo. Si Mrs. L, 38 years old, appeared exhausted, pagod na pagod. She looked after her physically and mentally handicapped child night and day. Her marriage had become strained because she spent too little time with her husband. So yung sadness, feelings of guilt, deep-seated anger over her circumstances determined her emotional life. 4 months, nagsuffer siya from restlessness and night sweats. Pagkatapos ng kanyang emotional stress or physical exertion, imagine, alagaan mo yung baan. She felt tightness of chest and occasionally experienced difficult breathing. She was susceptible to cold, suffered from frequent tonsillitis. She was therefore unable to cope with tasks of her life. Tongue coating niya was yellow and greasy, especially in the posterior third. Deep, irregular vertical crack in the anterior third of the tongue. Tip of tongue showed dark red spots. Edges of the tongue were red. Kasi nga, kinikimkim niya yung kanyang galit. Hindi niya na ilalabas. Kaya mayroon siyang heat sa liver. Her pulse was rapid and wiry. Okay. Ito na po, yung unresolved emotions ni Mrs. L, it has caused liver qi constraint. So yung liver qi constraint, di ba na-discuss natin ito before,
Yes po.
ito yung nag-cause ng heat sa liver. Okay, paano natin masasabi? Kasi red na po yung edges ng liver, pati yung quality ng pulso niya is wiry. Yeah, long-standing sadness. So yung mga malungkot dyan, ay kaya siguro nagko-COVID yung malungkot, no? Naalala ko tuloy yung ano, yung bago pa, ewan ko nalaman niyo ba yon, madam? Oo. Una-una muna namatay yung husband niya. Nagpa-check lang ng kanyang prostate, hindi kasi makaihi. Then, ginawang, of course, COVID positive kasi may 80 plus na. Pagkatapos, inatake sa puso nung syempre bakit siya i-admit sa ICU, no? Alam niyo, the next day, the following day, namatay din yung wife. So at least, dahil medyo na-depressed, yung bang fear na hindi ka magsusurvive sa COVID, naalala ko. So, ito na, tinan mo. So siguro matagal na rin siyang sad. So ang ano doon, hindi makauwi yung kasi nga ito pang quarantine, yun. Nakakaano talaga. They're very depressing.
Sa kapitbahay namin, Dok, na yung asawa niya, yung wife, ay nag-kidney dialysis. And then yung husband, na pag-dialysis, swab test, and then mayroong Kaufman, swab test, and then nag-positive. Then yung husband, nag-volunteer na siya ang magbantay.
Salamat.
So nauna pa naman ang husband kaysa wife. Ang wife ayun, buhay pa, ang husband patay na.
Oo, depressing talaga. Okay,
Siguro.
kaya yun nga. Kasi syempre sad siya. Siguro sad siya dahil sa gastos, no? Syempre,
Okay, kasi sa private hospital sila buwan gi-admit.
yun nga no? Kaya hindi talaga guarantee na ano. Anyway, tingnan nyo, pag masyado kang sad na matagal na, nasisira pa yung lung qi and yin. So this can lead to asthma attack. Kung medyo may edad ka na, Madam Teresita, if you don't mind, inaatake ka na ng asthma?
Hindi naman, mild lang do. Kasi ano pa man, kaya ko pa man, hindi man ako na hospital dahil sa asthma ko. Kasi ang asthma ko, Dok, ang ano ng doktor ko is, ang cause is allergy. Allergy ako sa sudden change of climate.
Social, diba?
And super hot. Pero parang atake pa wala pa, mild lang. Hindi ba nga ako gumamit ng nebulizer?
So dito, yung red edges show liver heat, while yung deep vertical crack sa anterior third of the tongue indicates lung yin deficiency. So yung lung qi and lung yin deficiency contributed to her tendency to catch colds. So meron siyang sore throat, inflamed yung tonsils niya. Yung red points, dark red points at the tip of the tongue, toxic heat po yan na na-retain sa tonsils. Okay, yung underlying kidney yin deficiency gave rise to heat. Kaya meron siyang night sweats, while yung heat sa liver nag-contribute sa accumulation of heat sa interior. Ang heat na ito yung nag-deplete ng fluids, kaya meron siyang dry mouth and intense thirst. So pag may nakita tayong pasyente na dry yung mouth, matindi yung thirst, heat na kaagad yan. Then yung greasy yellow coating niya sa posterior third, it reflects presence of damp heat in the lower burner. Okay? Na wala pang corresponding symptoms in the patient. Lung yin deficiency, lalo na pag na-depress tayo, will always lead to dryness and heat from deficiency. So nakikita po ito sa anterior third of the tongue. So meron tayong redness, dryness, and cracks. Okay? Appearance of any of this, kahit isa lang, no, should be a signal to abstain from eating spicy hot foods and herbs. And
what are spicy foods, Doc? Yung mga hot, iba din yung hot and spicy. Yung spicy, yung
kasi yung init.
Ano ba yan? Yung sibulyon, tomatis, ano ba yan?
Yung mga spicy, yung mga chili.
Chili.
Oo. Yung mga nilalagay sa mga pancit canton. Yung mga ano ba?
Kasi ang garlic is considered as hot din. Pati ginger.
Yeah, but in a good way. Ang ginger kasi, very nourishing yung pagka-hot niya. Although too much of it, hindi po pwede kung marami ka ng tuyo ka na.
Oo.
Diba? Ang ginger maganda sa spleen qi, spleen yang deficiency.
Sabi, too much of everything is bad.
Correct.
Yes. In this case kasi, yung patient natin, sobra na yung heat.
Yes.
Meron siyang empty, kahit may lung yin deficiency siya, talagang may dryness na eh. So syempre, common sense, maiinit, masarap pa naman yung mga maaanghang. Yung iba kasi inom lang ng malamig na tubig.
Oo.
Yeah. So lahat po ito may drying and heating effect sa katawan. So any comments po? I hope everybody is fine. Ma'am Roxanne, wala tayong tongue. Mukhang maya ngayon ang mga dila. Okay, let's talk to, ay, Ma'am Teresita, yung barangay nyo, ang pinakamataas ang cases ng COVID.
Yes
True.
po, ngayon. Yes, bumalik na naman. Number 1 talaga sa Zamboanga. At marami na namatay. My God.
So, bawal matakot, bawal malungkot.
Ay, magsimba pa
Correct.
ganun. Bahala na. Simba pa ko everyday kay Juan Ron kanang nag-start ang novena sa sa
Fourth Lady of the... Oh.
Ay, hindi ako matakot. Bahala na. Basta magsimba ako. Simba ko every morning.
Si
Kahit
Lord
ulan.
na bahala.
Oh, no.
Manalig tayo sa Diyos.
Correct.
Yung faith mo, hindi ka naman talaga kung tinetest mo, parang sinisisi mo gano'n, hindi talaga, di ba? If you really believe na talagang gagaling ka because of the divine intervention, then you will really take it.
Gagaling.
Correct.
Oo, di ba?
Positive thinking. Hmm?
Positive thinking.
Nag-worry na si Sir Tim sa akin kasi hindi pa nawala ang pain. Sabi ko sa kanya, sige lang sir kasi chronic na yan eh. Sige lang, I will be healed in God's perfect time.
Wow.
Okay, baka kung ipakita yung dila mo ngayon. Up next, bukas. Para makita natin yung difference.
Sige, ko sa'yo bukas, Doc.
Kasi parang 1 week na rin.
Sige, Doc.
Kumustahin naman natin si Ma'am Perla Mendoza. Miss Unstoppable, kayo po nag-invite.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ma'am Perla. Buti kayo nakapasok. She's one of our newest member. Ano yan?
Ay, wow. Welcome po, Ma'am Perla. Taga saan si Ma'am Perla?
Antipolo, sir.
Ay, wow. Meron na po kayong picture ng dila nyo.
Wala pa po eh.
Late ko yan nabigyan ng kasi sobrang napagod ako, Doc. Late. Hindi ako late nakapasok ngayon, pero late ako hindi ako naka-communicate sa mga tao mula pa kahapon. May sinosolve akong problema.
Siguro naman.
Problema sa pamilya.
Siguro, paano napunta sa atin si Ma'am Perla? Baka merong concern?
Next, ano na lang po, sir.
Okay. Sige po.
Pag may...
May dila na.
Sige po.
Kwento ko kasi kay Ma'am Perla, Doc, na mayroon tayong tongue check session where tinuturo mo paano mag-analyze ng tongue, from which makikita na natin yung status ng ating health inside. So, kumbaga dyan pa lang, maaano na natin yung effectiveness ng product, makikita mo kung nag-workout yung iniinom mo, lalo na pag may problema, like may COVID, for example.
Saka nalalaman natin kung anong intervention ang ginagawa natin, kung ano yung iniinom natin na supplement, effective or not, diba? Yeah. Namomonitor po kasi natin, Ma'am Perla, sa dila lang. Wala kayong dapat alalahanin sa gastos, basta may picture lang po kayo.
Okay po. Thank you, Doc.
May dila na po kayo, Ma'am Perla. Padala nyo ng maaga-aga.
Next time.
Pakita ang muka. Alam namin maganda kayo, Madam, pero dila na. High definition po, HD. So parting words, Ma'am Unstoppable, how is the situation in Cavite?
Wala masyado ako update do kasi nakatutok ako doon sa Iligan kasi di ba si AI is manganganak siya tapos kailangan daw siya, nilagnat kasi siya ng isang araw, inubo, tapos mataas ang BP, mataas pa ang sugar, tapos sabi ng doktor kailangan na ilabas yung baby in 6 weeks time kasi mag-37 weeks na siya. So, at least ngayon, nag-okay na siya. So, since nung isang gabi, hindi na siya nilagnat kahapon. Ngayon naman, okay siya, pero andun pa rin yung hinihika siya eh. Ang tagal na niya hindi inasma. Di ba, nasabi ng doktor, nasabi nga niya, pag in 4 days time, mula that time na nag-umpisa yung ubo, sabi niya, saka siya magpapaswab if ever, kasi ang advice talaga ng OB niya, paswab na siya. Pero ano yun na, fully vaccinated siya. Pasensya na po, kaya medyo tahimik ako tonight.
Sige lang, okay lang yun. Basta healthy lang tayong lahat. So, ano man, bukas na ulit. Maraming salamat po sa pag-join, Ma'am Perla. Sana invite
Thank you rin, Doc.
Okay, yung dila nyo po, welcome po.
Sige po, Doc. Thank you.
Doc Gabino, thank you din po sa pag-join.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you
See
so
you
much. Daghan
tomorrow.
salamat.
Daghang salamat, Ma'am Betty. Marunong na ng Bisaya.
Dagan salamat. May
Basta
bawaan.
nanalo po. Puro
Pero sige,
Cebuano.
Taiwan,
Parang magwapa. Gwapa.
Guwapa. Maganda.
Oh, gwapa.
Sige po. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you for
Nga
coming.
wala pang dila, you can submit your
Perla,
dila
yung dila.
para ma-analyze natin.
Ma'am Teresita, yung follow-up nyo, 2 weeks na yung di namin nakikita yung dila mo. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Night. Ingat
Good night,
po lahat.
everyone. Ingat po
Good night
lahat.
po.